No, here, yeah, let me turn my.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm kind of disappointed that they don't have music while we're waiting for you to bring us into the meeting.
That's something I can work on. What's yeah? Uh,
Before we get started, did anybody see the posting by Amy Schlepper on a couple Green Party Facebook that the Central Michigan Greens are hosting the June 20th nominating convention, an outdoor event?
I may have seen something like that. Yeah.
Um, I don't know what that is, if it's a watch party or it doesn't say.
I wouldn't think so because she's running. So, but it seems like a gathering of people.
Any way to tell Dan to unmute himself up in the upper right-hand corner?
Uh, Maybe I can do. Maybe it's.
Chat, maybe.
Uh, Maybe it's my end. I'm not sure. No. Has to unmute.
Because I tried to
There
click
we
on,
go.
there he is.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I got this Cortana pop-up covering like more than a quarter of the screen, like about a third of the screen, and I can't. It's cutting everything off, and so I may have to reboot the computer or something. I just don't get it. Yeah, shoot, always something. I left my thing on for the last couple of dates. Let me there. I'm keying in something. I'm giving Cortana something to do, and now maybe it'll go away. Nope. It won't go away. I never did care for Cortana. Never asked for it. Never appreciated it. And now it's messing with me. Well, I might just work with you the audio for a little bit, if that's okay. Hey, both of you guys have admin permissions on the website, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
If you're able to log in while you're doing this here, you might want to just take a look at that. I uploaded some stuff today that it will show the results of the ballots that we've gotten so far. And only you have the button to see that, unless I made another colossal mistake. But I'm pretty sure that only the admin and then the chairperson and the elections coordinator can see the results right now. And it isn't in all the detail that we need. It isn't showing percentage, let's say, for instance, and this is for the presidential candidate ballot. It isn't showing like the percentage. It isn't calculating that yet. And I have worked up details because somebody's going to want to sooner or later check the details for every single member, just like you would with any other ballot, just to look at them. And I have that working, but I didn't upload that yet.
Yeah, so I'd wait on that because some people like to have it like a secret ballot.
Well, Jim, even with a secret ballot, somebody's got to lay their eyes on it, to count it, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, the committee that counts the ballots, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They can see, but that can also be secret. I mean, like I said with our dog club, they have your name on the outside envelope.
Oh, I see.
Return address.
Yeah.
That gets thrown out.
Right.
There's nothing, and then my name is checked off, but there's nothing on the ballot envelope that you send back.
Yeah, and that, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, but if anybody wanted to verify, hey, I don't believe you counted my vote right, if we didn't keep track of who voted what, then you would be able to prove it one way or the other, you know? And
Oh,
so,
that's fine. I just like the secret ballot. I mean, if I'm willing to say who I voted for, then that's fine. But somebody to actually go in and look, then I have a little bit of a
oh, I
problem.
got you. Well, no, this would just be authorized people, you know? Like you're
Oh,
looking at all kinds of people's personal information and stuff, and not just anybody can do that. At
now
least,
where is this voting results on the
oh,
website?
what I did was I just put one button right now, so that may not be where you want it or anything like that, but I would appreciate some feedback. If you go to the presidential candidates,
Okay.
and if you're logged in, you'll have a button that has the ballot, first of all. But then you'll also have another button, you will have another button that says results. And if you
Okay.
click that, you'll see the results that we have so far. And like I say, it's not complete, it's not finished, but it's a kind of a lowdown, and it shows you, you know, how things stand right now. You can
So
see
if
the
anybody
count.
like, yeah, if anybody wants to figure out percentages now, that's easy enough to do.
It's easy to do, yeah.
Just get a calculator.
Well, yeah. Well, we got a computer here; it'll do it too. But I just didn't do it. I didn't have time. Uh, but anyway, if you do get a chance to take a look at that, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Talked with Sherry Wells today, and I see a whole lot of emails from Sherry and somebody else about I don't know what exactly, but the membership list. They're having some trouble or some concerns with membership data. I talked with Sherry for a little bit. Oh, you guys should both know this if you don't. When she exports that list to an Excel sheet, you know, the membership data in her community, her whatever you call it, county, for her local, the member since column comes in the Excel spreadsheet, but it isn't something that you can look at and understand what it is until you format that column, and that's just the way it goes. Date times are funny data types. And so what you'll see is you'll just see an integer. It'll be, you know, some 6 or 7 digit integer, which is actually the count of a byte array, which is the way that the machines handle date time. They actually count microseconds since like 1700, January 1st to 1700. And some systems use a different start date. But anyway, so it's confusing. She looks at that date column and it's just a bunch of integers. And I explained to her that you just format that column. You right click on, she was saying it was my code or something like that. It's not my code, it's Excel. It's the way they do it. And I just said, what you got to do is just click the top of the column and then format the column as a date. And then you'll see the date. And she did that while she was on the phone with me and she didn't have any trouble with it. And so anyway, I'm just going to bring that to your attention because you guys should both know that too. If you export a membership list, you can go ahead and try doing that. You'll see that member since column is a date column, but you won't see dates there. You'll see integers. And so you just select the column and then right click on it and format it as a date, and then you'll see the dates if they exist. Yeah.
Now that must be something new because I've
Been there since the very first, man.
really,
Yeah. If you export,
because I've exported our list and didn't have any issue with. I saw the dates as, you know, like 6/15/1999.
wow. Well, that's really unusual, Jim, because I've never had it come down like that. I've always had to format it. Yeah,
Maybe it's something my computer does automatically. Who knows?
that is sweet if it does. You might want to try that sometime again. Just export
I'll
as
check
solid.
it out again. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. So anyway, so I talked with her, but she said she's trying to get a hold of Daryl. And I don't know if you guys have tried to get a hold of Daryl lately.
Mm.
No?
Oh.
Okay. Well, my phone was charging last night. When I got home, it was dead. And I plugged it into charge. And so I didn't notice, but he had sent a text to me about 5:30 yesterday, just saying that it was just 2 sentences. It says, I may not be able to make it to the meeting tonight. I'm having some issues. And anyway, I tried calling him after seeing that email from Sherry this morning, or a text email. And I got a recording that it wasn't working. His phone wasn't working this morning. And anyway, so I tried texting him, but I sent him an email and he did respond to my email. And his email, you guys got to see it if you haven't already. He's got big paragraph of all the things he's done here just in the last day or two. And he's busy, man, working on Green Party stuff and setting up actions and
Wow.
stuff. Yeah. But he says he may not, he didn't tell me what the issues are, but he says he may not be able to meet with us and catch up with us until tomorrow, he says. And so that means like not today. And so,
Okay.
yeah. So he's still with us, but he's just not with us tonight. Oh, and I've been trying to get a hold of Robin and not getting anywhere. I didn't start trying until 3 o'clock, but I've been calling and she's not available. And I don't know if maybe this has something at all to do with Amy. I don't know. But you're not telling me, Jim, that Amy's taken over for Robin, are you?
No, what I saw was an event that she set up for the Central Michigan Greens, inviting. It was on several Green Party Facebooks.
I
So
see.
she's inviting everybody. And all
Well,
it says is the Central Michigan Greens is hosting the June 20th nominating convention it's outside in a park.
huh. Well, I like that. That's
Confused the
cool.
hell out of me.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't say it's a watch party. It just says she's hosting the nominating convention like we're doing.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It turns out, I guess I made a mistake. You guys remember that last week I was going to send this thing out for Sherry announcing the caucus. And then when I got ready, I sent her a copy of it to review and give me feedback. And what she told me instead was don't bother because I've already done it. And then the next day I talked with Robin and Robin says, do it anyway. She says, I'm afraid that maybe people weren't notified and maybe there's going to be, she just said the right way to do it is to have the membership managers, the membership list and our email system and send it out. And I said, okay, I'm sorry I didn't. So I looked at it and I sent it out. And I guess from what Sherry's saying that I said it's going to be happening this caucus on Saturday, the 12th. And this Saturday is the 13th and the 12th is Friday. And so that was a typo that I didn't notice, I guess. And Sherry didn't notice either until.
Everybody's done that.
Yeah. Well, we're sending out another one anyway, aren't we, this week, right? We were talking about that yesterday. And I think Daryl might be in on that even. I think that was one of the things he was talking about in his email to me. But we're talking about letting them know to sign in early. And something. Oh, RSVP, right. That's right.
Yeah, we did talk about that yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Right. That was one of the things on Daryl's email to me today. He says he's working on an RSVP form, whatever he's talking about. I'm not sure. But,
I think they have to be a user to be able to do that.
I see.
At least to be able to do that on Zoom.
You're probably right.
So, and those invites went out to like 1,400 people. So
they did, huh?
Yeah.
Nice going, Michelle. Yeah, that flew, huh? That actually went in and flew.
Yep,
huh?
that worked.
How do you like that? Wow. And I saw myself on an email here just before this meeting. I saw one from Zoom and I almost bit on that thing, but I wanted to stay anonymous one more time. If I'm anonymous, I don't know if I am. You guys still see me with a name?
Yeah, Iggy.
Yeah, Iggy. Who is that? I had an old buddy, man. He was in his 70s when I was in my 30s. And we were the best of friends. He's the best friend I ever had, actually. And he was a funny guy, but he didn't know any jokes. He would just tell real stories that he remembered from his past. And it was hilarious. But anyway, there's this one character that kept coming up in his stories. It was named Iggy Oss. And he would always pause whenever he'd tell a story with Iggy Oss and just say that he thought that that was the most unusual name. Iggy Oss, yeah. And so that's where that came from. So he lives still, whoever he is or was.
Is that Matt that's joined us?
I think so.
Oh, good. I can't get rid of my Cortana. Tell you what,
Yep.
Could you guys excuse me just for a minute?
Matt.
Will you guys be here if I reboot my machine and I'll come back in a minute?
Sure, we'll be here.
Do it. I don't even know if I'll leave the meeting. I'll just try to reboot.
What's eating potato chips?
I'm putting stuff in my freezer.
Ah,
My freezer's already packed with stuff, and I shouldn't have got any more stuff, but it's like it was on sale. So it's like, okay, there's the temptation, and I gave in.
So it's rearrangement time, huh?
Yeah, that's for sure. I got to put most of it. If I put about 10 pounds of it in my stomach, I'd have more room in the freezer. But then I have 10 pounds on me I don't need.
Mm. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Playing with this so I can expand this to my entire screen. And I see we're recording on YouTube again.
yep.
Cool.
And I think to the cloud too. So
Yeah, I did get notification from YouTube that it was live streamed.
yeah, I think I saw an email. But I think you do have to be subscribed to
Yeah.
that channel or yep.
So what's on the agenda for tonight?
Uh, oops. I kind of put together the approach list, I guess, instead of a punch list. Or
Okay.
I thought we could go over that. So this is for one host and two co-hosts, which is the current setup that we have paid for. And I wanted to talk about like tonight, since Daryl couldn't make it, having a backup or an assistant co-host ready to go.
Is that kind of for like check-in?
Check-in is 30 minutes before.
I mean, a backup for him checking people in.
Right, just to have all three hosts
Okay.
that can do the check-in or mute people or whatever it is that we're going to need to do. So then 1 hour before start, hopefully all the hosts get online, and before that, actually try and make sure everything's ready to go. Everything's checked for the meeting in terms of the side room, participants muted on entry. So then 30 minutes before we start check-in, and actually we'll be ready to go before then. So if anybody wants to check in before the 30 minutes, should have someone there. So members verified before meeting by hosts and check-in room, by chosen Zoom name or by chat individually. So if their Zoom name comes up and we don't recognize it, we can chat with them and figure out who they are.
Does that include telephone numbers?
That would include telephone numbers, yeah. I think anything that's on the membership list, so membership name, telephone number, address, whatever other information we have on them. But that's going to require everyone having access to a spreadsheet on their computer or a separate computer, so they can do a find on the information that they're given quickly and get the information in the spreadsheet. So let's check in. And then the start of the meeting, start the live stream. So hopefully we'll start that like right on time. Announce the live stream and post the live stream address. Not sure if we should do that to the website or just assume that people have subscribed. It doesn't look like Dan's back yet. GRP site. Mute everybody at start. That should come up that way. The settings are done correctly. Announce the hand raising procedure. And then announcements. Open chat for communication. Unmute phone users. I'm not sure exactly why Sherry wanted that, but you can do that.
Is that maybe to ask questions? But they don't need to be unmuted all the time then. But if she wants it, then that's no problem.
Yeah, I mean, we should be able to see if they're eating potato chips or whatever and mute them if we need to, I guess.
Yeah, that background noise is that can be quite a disaster. It's awfully distracting. I get on, I don't know how many of these types of calls, and you get somebody talking to somebody else in the background. They don't realize they're not muted. Somebody making noise. We had one guy a long time ago, he would get on these calls, he'd fall asleep and it'd start to snore. So yeah, you have to have the, it really gets disgusting. So you have to have the capability to go ahead and just run through the board, and who's ever not behaving properly, mute them. And then if they have to, somebody said, well, then they have to call back in, or they have to do this, or they have to do that. It's like, okay, then that's what they have to do. We can't disrupt our call because somebody's being, not, they don't have proper manners. Now I know why we learned all these manners in second grade. I never used to wonder why they teach us that. We don't need to know that. And it's like, oh, yes, you do.
Right.
Dan's coming back. See if it can work for him.
I'm going to put this unmute phone users in question marks because that may not work, especially if they don't need to speak all that much.
Yeah, because if we've got the hand raise procedure, they can.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I just wrote this. Check to see if co-host can mute people. I'm not sure if that's a host or co-host as well function. We need to check that. And then the meeting manager, which in this case will be Dan, welcome, opening remark, and then introduce facilitator, which would be Jim. And then we would start on the agenda. End of meeting.
I got a thought suddenly. And that is, I wonder how we could flash or keep, what I'm thinking is it'd be nice if there was a way for people when they get into the meeting, let's say if they're coming in late, like I just did, to see maybe instructions on how to do things like unmute themselves, if they need to, or maybe some like an agenda with maybe like a little pointer as to where we are in the agenda, that kind of thing. And so they aren't totally clueless when they get in here, you know? I'm wondering if there's some way we could have a graphic or something in a corner or instructions or something that'll pop up and show them how to click to find instructions, that kind of thing.
The only thing I know of is this share feature. But when I looked at the videos, it seems like that takes up a lot of the, if not all of the video screen. So I want to try and not use that as much as possible.
I agree with that.
So,
So much
Sherry
there.
needs to impress upon people that they should be here on time.
Right, yeah, but that doesn't help, does it, really? I mean, like, there are some people who are gonna come in late, that's just the way it is. But you're right, Jim. And who suffers for it, right? It's the people who showed up on time that suffer for it, right? Always. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
then I just had basically what Sherry was going to provide as far as herself as the chairperson, secretary, and only Oakland County members to ask questions.
Dan, did Sherry say anything about a secretary when you talked to her?
No, that doesn't mean that she didn't email me something. I see about, honestly, man, I mean, there isn't a way I could exaggerate the number of emails I got from her today and John Anthony and everybody else under the sun. Well, and one of them that I noticed was this here. We get this a lot, and we've gotten it a lot since the very first, it seems like, but we get these email responses from people saying, I've told you and I've told you and I've told you, don't.
I saw that.
You did, yeah. And I always wonder which email, because I've always suspected they're coming from Sherry or Jennifer or somebody else, not us, you know. But maybe they are coming from us. Now, you know, the other day I gave you a list of Oakland County members that I didn't filter. I thought that was a totally clean list, and it wasn't. The one that I gave you the other day for Oakland included, I think, 30 people who have unsubscribed or for one reason or another been suppressed by GoDaddy. And one of the things that I've always meant to get around to, and I've asked Daryl to get around to it, and he's busy and too busy to get around to it. We got to mark those ones. GoDaddy flags them and never forgets. We can see the ones that are flagged, that are marked. We got to export that, and we got to flag them in our database, and so we don't keep sending emails out. But on the other hand, just because they unsubscribe, we've talked about this before, it's been a while. Just because they unsubscribe to the marketing email doesn't mean that they don't want to know anything about the local group. That doesn't mean they don't want to know anything about. But I don't know. And so anyway, we still got a problem with people getting emails that don't want them. And so I'm going to have to figure out what to do about that. Yeah. And this one is complaining. It'll be easy to find out if they're suppressed on GoDaddy and if they were on that list that I gave you guys. So I'll look into that. I'll follow into that and let you know how that happens, how that worked out. Yeah.
Any idea who could be another possible co-host for the meeting or an assistant?
Good question. I was hoping that Velez gal would do it, Lulu, but it looks like I don't know if she's going to be able to. I don't know. If she had a notice and lead time, she said she'd be willing to try. Do you have anybody in mind, Jean-Michel?
Nope.
Huh. And I thought Robin had a friend, but you know, I don't know. Can't get a hold of her. She's not answering the phone, and she hasn't been on these meetings, and so I don't know. So I'll definitely think about it over the next 24 hours.
So how are we going to get the word out about the meeting on Monday?
All right. Oh, I don't know. I was thinking Gerard might be willing to help. I talked with him today too, and he started to back away from us a while ago, but he's coming back stronger than ever, doing stuff. He's got a whole bunch of stuff he wants to sell through the online store. He's sending me pictures today and stuff. He wants to sell them, and he'll take care of shipping and stuff. And I don't know, and he's doing all kinds of stuff with his membership list and greeting people and stuff. So he wants to get involved, and maybe he'd like to be a co-host. I'll ask him and see. And so I'm sorry, I started talking, Jean-Michel, and I missed what you said. You said you changed the subject a little bit there.
How are we going to promote the run through on Monday?
Okay, that's right, Monday. And that's right, Monday. I'm gonna get a note of that. I don't know yet. I'm wide open to suggestions.
First of all, are we gonna, we need probably, how many people are we gonna have or invite? Like 30, did you say?
Well, in theory, everyone who signed up for Zoom is going to get an invite when we post the meeting to Zoom. So.
We could go that way. I mean, you're bound to hit 30 people. I would hope.
Yeah, where's 30 coming from?
Well, a lot of people haven't signed in yet or
Right, confirmed.
acknowledged the account.
I got you. Yeah, out of 150 or so, 160. And I guess that's probably normal. I don't know, Jean-Michel. We are planning to send out an announcement to the Oakland County people Friday, I think, if I'm remembering right, Friday. And that's when we're going to ask them to join early. And that's when we're going to let them know that Friday the 12th is what we're talking about. Not
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah, let's, Zoom meeting.
I'll send it to you, both of you, and everybody in this little group before it goes out to anybody for you to look at and tell me what you think. And if that's okay.
Gonna put it on the calendar and
Oh yeah, right.
email
Good.
OCC
Good.
on Friday.
Good.
So I'll get the info on. I'll do the meeting probably tomorrow morning and
Okay.
send you the info on that.
Good. Great.
Schedule the meeting.
So will that go out as an email blast then?
Right.
To everyone who signed up on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
Dan was saying he's going to send out an email anyway to the OCC, so we can just put that in there.
Right.
For
Good.
Monday.
And I'll let you guys see it before
Monday
it goes
meeting.
out.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys see it before it goes out. Now, normally I've been fitting that in late in the evening on Friday, but I'll try to get it out sooner than that. So, you want to see that thing before midnight, I'm sure. Daryl and I usually get things out at midnight, but if you want, we'll get it out. Like say, I'll target 8 o'clock, right? I'll show you guys at 8 o'clock.
I'm trying to be in bed by 9 pretty much. So.
All right. Okay. Good enough. Okay. So that's what we'll do. I'll target 8 o'clock if that's all right. It's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's gonna be tomorrow, right?
Is it tomorrow? Oh,
No, your announcement.
yeah, tomorrow's Friday. And so I'll send it out to you guys just to look at, and if you got, if it's okay with you, then I'll let it fly, right? So we're talking Friday, right?
Okay.
To
Yeah.
send it out to everyone, yeah.
To everybody,
That's
yeah.
what you were talking. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll send it to you first and let you see it, and then you can tell me what you think. And then we'll let it go. Yeah.
That is the 8th. June 8th.
One of the issues I had with John Anthony, by the way, I was looking at his booklet, and I thought he said convention booklet, but maybe it's the Oakland Caucus booklet. I'm not sure. No, it's the convention booklet. And somehow, I don't know how, I did a search for my own name, I think, and I saw Dan Mills, and my eyes aren't that good, and I'm always in a hurry, and I didn't read it accurately. But I was actually reading Jean-Michel's Dan Mills, Green Party activist, as a reference, and Daryl Gibson is an activist. And I was thinking that John Anthony was listing me as the archivist, and I didn't read it in context. And with this thing, it's all crammed together and it doesn't really stand out. When I look at that document, I see just a whole raft of question marks, and the whole thing confuses the hell out of me. But I thought that he had listed me as an officer, and I didn't even get the context. So anyway, I was wrong with that, and I let him know this morning that I made a mistake, and try to forgive me for that. But I didn't really say that, but I acknowledge that I made a mistake and not to worry about that. And I get back to the rest of it. I don't know if I told you, he sent me like a 4-page email. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Does
so
that include his signature line?
Yeah. Well, I'll have to look and see. I printed it out. That's the only way I'm gonna, is because it's all just text crammed together, single spaced, and I printed it out so I could look it over. I haven't had time yet today, but I did see that part. He was clearing up the thing about the archivist, me being an archivist, and so I got right back to him and admitted that I made a mistake there. But honestly, that just goes to show you that what he's sending out just isn't clear. It isn't readable. But I'm not going to criticize him. He works like a dog, and I should just take the good and ignore the rest. I vow. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah, he's really dedicated to this stuff, and he spends a hell of a lot of time on it. So, there's going to be some slip-ups once in a while, and the way I look at it is none of us are being paid to do this. So it's kind of like who wants to put themselves up for the victim, if you will, to say, okay, how many hours am I going to, in a week, in a month, whatever, in a day, am I going to put into this? And I'm just happy to have the people around that are willing to do the work. So otherwise, if they weren't, there's a lot of things that just wouldn't be getting done.
Yeah. Something, while you were talking, Matt, I was thinking about Rita. I talked with her today. We already talked about that a little bit, but she's really desperate. I mean, she's in pain with that bandage on her, like Matt. Matt says she can't.
Hello?
Yeah, I lost you for a second there.
I think he's, yeah.
Wants anybody to help her. I don't know what, send out emails or something. I don't know what exactly how. But yeah, without her and without John Anthony, I don't know. Oh, we just volunteered you, Matt, to help Rita with.
You did?
Yeah. Dan, you were cutting out.
Yeah.
And now you're muted. Because you cut out, apparently you popped out, and now you're popping back in. And
yeah, something just went ahead and screwed him up for this thing.
Let's see if I need to. Yep.
Was it just me? It was just me?
Yeah, you were coming in, and all of a sudden you were talking. And
came back on its own.
Yeah, it says you're muted on here too, and you're not. So.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's
hacker. Russian.
It's the Russians. I couldn't tell you how hard I laughed when they started blaming the Russians again. It's like, we haven't blamed the Russians for anything, God, since Nixon was in office. It's like, how do you blame the Russians for this stuff? It's the Russians' fault. Oh, come on. The Russians don't give a damn who the president
I'm the only
is.
one having trouble?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it.
Oh, okay.
So my
maybe
internet and TV was out this morning for like 2 or 3 hours.
Whoa.
So I wanted to check to see if my phone could handle this. So I'm going to try that.
Oh.
Yeah, Dan, now your video's gone.
Yeah, I turned it off because I thought it might help me, but it says my internet connection is unstable, and I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that happens to me every once in a while. I just turn off the video and then wait a few seconds and then turn it back on,
Huh.
and it does. See,
So
if you don't, it will throw you out completely.
that's
I've
what
had
it's been
that happen
doing.
to me.
That's what it's been doing. So you did this to me.
Not me. No,
I have to blame somebody. Jim. I have to blame somebody. I guess I have to blame Michelle.
There you go. Blame your wife.
Yeah.
Good thing she's not home.
Yeah. She just walked in.
Okay.
Huh. Well, I don't want that happening if I'm in the middle of a convention.
No.
Right.
Just turn off the video. Try turning it back on now.
Well, your audio is still choppy for me.
Well, it sounded like everything was fine until you decided to reboot. That's when everything got all screwed up.
It could be Windows will intrude sometime with updates and just take over the machine. I've noticed.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I saw a headline today that Microsoft's product is really trying to compete now with Zoom. They aren't able to yet. Zoom still has them head and shoulders, I guess, in features and stuff. But Microsoft's making some big steps. And one of them is just the number of people who you can see on the screen at one time. And I guess Microsoft right now limits it to 12, I think. And Zoom, I think, will show 49, I think, or something like that at once. So anyway, they're just making their move. It won't be long. Microsoft will acquire them, I'm sure.
Oh,
I hope not.
They've got another platform called Gab too.
Huh.
That's more of a Twitter substitute, though.
Oh. Huh.
I can't figure out how to connect to my phone. So
Oh.
it's not showing up. Just gonna hope that my internet's working.
I'm back. Mine just crapped out again.
Yeah, that's the thing I think we got to worry about the
Yeah, I wonder what's
most
going on.
is internet connections
Yeah,
for both the caucus
Right.
and the nominating convention.
yeah.
Because if people lose their internet connection or having a problem,
And that's maybe
usually at their end.
where having 5 hosts would come in a little handy.
Right. Well, maybe we better do that then, huh? Right. And
How would that-
we were
how
thinking
would
maybe
that
a bigger
help if they
meeting
have a
too. And
problem
Jim,
with
you
their
asked
end?
if
Well, because we'd have more than 3.
I don't think.
2 were out, then you'd have the other 2 that could just step in.
Oh, you're saying if a
So-
host goes out,
Right.
Yeah,
their internet connection goes out. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about people in general.
yeah, right. Or Zoom itself.
Zoom does crash.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah. I think you're right. I think we should do a couple more hosts, but then we got to find somebody to staff them.
Yeah.
Who did you have right now listed?
Just me, you, and Daryl.
What's that?
Me, you, and Daryl. Hello?
Oh,
I can hear you okay.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time here. And I could reboot maybe. Yeah, can you hear me at all?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay, good. All right. How about you, Matt? You want to step in as a host too?
Well, first of all, you plan on going to Lansing for physically where there should be a handful of us there, right?
I'd like to.
Yeah, I would too, because I could probably do something there, but it's like, otherwise I'm just, right now I'm only on my phone because since I got back here just a little bit late, and as soon as I did, I got on the call and I've been walking around doing a bunch of stuff. So it's like, if we were in Lansing and we had a computer that we could trust, then we could probably kind of rotate who does what. But somebody should be in front of that computer the whole time to monitor it. Somebody has to, we could probably have more than one person doing it.
Well, that's what the
Yeah.
host job is. We're going to have at least 3.
Yeah, I can step in and do that then.
Yeah. The problem with going to Lansing or all getting together is that if you're all on the same Wi-Fi connection, doing video,
Right.
Yeah. Well, this stuff is all remote anyway. There's really no need for people to gather in one room.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
Well,
remote,
it
but
is
it's like
nice
there's
to be
still
in the
going to be.
same room.
Yeah, we still should, because we might have to talk one-on-one with nobody else there. I shouldn't say it's not meant to be secretive, but it's like, look, there might be 2 or 3 of us that have to say something that nobody needs to hear. And it's like we have to be in the same room to do it, because if you start chatting and you say something that everybody picks up on, or you say something you shouldn't say, everybody hears it, and it's like it just is. It's too much of a mess, and there could be other things we have to do as far as shoveling papers around, and
Yeah.
it'd be a lot easier just to have a handful of us in one location to do that.
yeah, I don't think the host can I think the host is going to need to be host and co-hosts are going to need to be isolated just so they can speak to other people while the meeting is going on if need be.
I think so. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been
I see.
having a real problem, and I don't know if you guys see or hear the problem I'm having. Does my voice sound chopped to you or delayed or anything? No?
Not now.
Yeah.
Okay, but it did when I had the video on?
No,
Oh, it didn't, huh?
Not when you were first in before you rebooted, and then when you came back it was a little worse.
Okay, so you did notice something though, huh?
a little, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Seems
So what
okay now.
I thought I might switch over to my hotspot because I was able to use the hotspot for video over the weekend. And I want to just see if will you guys hang on just a second? I'm going to, this shouldn't take long. I'm just going to disconnect from the internet and then connect to my hotspot.
That's basically what I was trying to do, except I couldn't get to it.
Okay, so now I'm connected to my hotspot. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to bring the video back. And so this is going through my phone as a hotspot. And I can't tell there's any issues. And so what I was thinking, like Jean-Michel's got a real valid concern there. This kind of happened to us at that SMM with live streaming. If we got 2 or more people using the same network to draw video content, it might overload the system. And if we got 10 people doing it, I'm sure it's guaranteed to fail, right? I think that's what Jean-Michel, I think that's what you were saying.
It's going to be problematic. I think anytime you get more than 5 people on the same little Wi-Fi thing, it's
right. And so if there's a good connection wherever we are, I could use my hotspot and be on a separate network that way.
as something preferably you would want to test beforehand.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of testing it right now, but I'm not testing it. I'm not testing it in Lansing. I'm testing it in North Muskegon. Yeah. And so you're right, Jean-Michel. Maybe it's smart to just stay home and just do it remote. Hey, Matt, what do you think about that?
Decentralization.
Well, it's kind of like, obviously, since I don't have any objection to staying home, but it's like I'm not going to be able to host anything that way.
How come?
And it's like I'm still going to have to be able to talk to somebody where they're sitting right there in case if something comes up. We're not going to be able to sit there and have everybody spread out. We should have one person spread out. Like Jean-Michel, I think your idea of you staying there is good in case something screws up with the system. So we got to, there's basically two separate systems. We're doing this, but there still should be 3, 4, 5 of us or however many want to in Lansing just to go ahead and, you still have to have that person-to-person contact to run this. If something says, okay, how are we going to work this?
There's a lot to be said for that person-to-person.
Using chat for the co-host, and then just cut and paste to the third person. So everybody, all the hosts are involved with it.
Right. That's one of the.
We kind of talked about that at the last meeting.
But I think, especially during the check-in, I think the hosts are going to need to be available to speak. And probably during the meeting, to the beginning of the meeting, they're going to need to actually be able to speak to people in the breakout room to check their membership.
Right, right, right. And we got to practice that. Yeah, right. That's right.
So I don't see how they can do that in a room with other people in a meeting.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Hey, Matt. Because now I'm trying to remember what you got set up. I know you got that gigantic copy machine and printer that I see at your place, and I know you got an office with a computer in it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what you're going to be, if you were doing it from home, what you would be using. Would you be using a laptop or a desktop?
No, I'd probably be on the desktop, and that means I'm glued to the damn thing all day, and I don't want to do that either. I want to be I got to be able to get up and move around. That's why if something's gonna come up where somebody's gonna have to go refer to something. There's going to have to be paperwork there, something for those. I just think that we need about 3-4 people in Lansing, because that's where it was supposed to be anyway. And we just sit there and have something set up there and run it from there. And we don't know how many people we're going to get anyway. We only get about 20, 30 people normally for this. And I don't see where we get any more than 40. Totally, system wide. So
the network is the big concern for me right now, like Jean-Michel was saying. Yeah. And with everybody shut down now, schools got tremendous network. They got, I don't want to use that word tremendous, man. Trump uses that word all the time. And I don't want to be.
What word does he use all the time?
Tremendous. That's one of his 10 words. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, he's got buzzwords.
Yeah. So like, anyway, if we were having it at a school or university, they got the best networks anywhere, except the military, anyway, but we're not. We're going to have it at a coffee shop or a bagel shop, and they got like.
Well, that's the other thing. Where would we have this? I mean, I'm presuming we can still get into LCC or wherever Robin got to have this thing set up.
No, it's closed.
Can't do it.
Oh. So is the library open yet?
Nope.
What's open in Lansing?
She's checking around, and I haven't heard back from her. She's looking around. She'd like to have us there, but she's checking around. Like I say, man, a coffee shop or something, that internet's not going to be good enough to take care of us.
No, it's not. No, not at all.
Now, you got network at your house there, right, Matt?
Yeah, I've got a router, and yeah.
Is it a wireless router, or is it something you plug into?
Well, I can run a computer from another room wireless.
Right back. Guys.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to show up at your place with a couple of laptops. Okay, man?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Okay.
You don't have any big white-haired dog, do you?
No, I don't.
That was Jim.
You want me to get one or no?
I went.
No, I don't know.
You guys did this too, didn't you? You go to Jim's place. You guys been to Jim's place?
I've seen the dog.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I came out of his place, I looked like a snowman, man. I really did. I looked like a snowman. I was covered with white hair, fur, thick fur. Yeah. Well, anyway, Matt, you don't even have a cat, I don't think, so I can come on over.
No. I have none of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a goldfish, but that's too big of a responsibility.
Right. Yeah. So you got a cable hooked up to a modem, right, Matt?
Yeah, the way it works is like where my office is in the front of the house. That computer is wired into the modem, but the modem has the AT&T, whatever the hell you want to call it, box is a code, and you can sign in from another room
right.
using that code. So there can be like, you had a couple laptops,
Right,
and we could sign in from another room. I'm fine with that. Yeah,
Let's
that'd
do
be
it.
okay.
right. And we're
Okay,
talking
we can
about
do that.
having this dress rehearsal Monday, you said, right? That's what we're doing, Monday?
Yeah,
Okay. And it's 7 o'clock or something like that, maybe? Is that what
7.
7 o'clock? Hey, Matt, I might even show up at your place Monday. What do you think about that?
This is coming Monday?
Yeah,
Yeah, if you want to. I don't care. It's the 8th.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's do it. Then we'll
Okay.
run through it, see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'll probably show up early. Yep. Well, that sounds good.
All right, so I'll do that stuff tomorrow morning and send that out to you.
Thanks. Sounds good. Oh, yeah. And if you guys get a chance, take a look at that on the website and just see what that looks like for you, the ballot results, what we have right there right now.
I'm probably going to wait till the 26th.
Oh, just to punch the button to look at it, I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not looking at yours, you're looking at the results from the election itself.
Yeah, I'm not going to look at it.
How come?
So I don't want to know.
Oh, I see. You don't want to know what the results are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So there you go. Let me see who else. Well, Robin, yeah, I can't get a hold of her. I know that she'd like to see what it looks like. So we'll
That brings up a question
sure.
on our presidential nominating convention. Okay. Voting ends when? At noon or at the end of the meeting?
The way I understood it was noon, but I
I
didn't
think
make that
noon
up.
was announced.
Okay. Now, how do we go about announcing the results to people?
What are your ideas, Jim? I don't know. Seems like John Anthony to have that figured out, but we haven't gotten to that, at least that I know of. You know, I've had the
Yeah.
hardest time. Yeah.
I think that falls under elections coordinator.
Yeah.
So he would know.
You would think. Yeah.
Because this would have to go out to basically all of the GPUS state parties.
Oh, the results. Yeah.
Yeah, the results.
Right. Well, I have my ideas on how it would be, easy to do and clearly stated and everything like that, but I can't do it because I'm not the elections official. I got to work with John Anthony, and I like to compliment him somehow. But it seems like so far, at least, we've been working on two completely different systems, completely different directions, and that's been frustrating for both of us, probably.
I've heard that someplace before.
Yeah. Anyway, I got 4 pages of recent email to read, and probably he's written more since then. And probably dated those with version numbers and stuff too. But I'll take a look and see what he has. Hopefully we can get together.
Anything for tomorrow?
Oh, let me take a look and see. I do think that we ought to meet because like Daryl's counting on it, I know.
Yeah, that's yeah.
See if we can get some more of these people like Sherry to come, Robin
Okay.
to come,
Yeah.
you to come. I mean,
Right. They really don't know that we're meeting. Now, Gerard asked me today, we were talking about that online store thing, and he says, we ought to have another Zoom meeting sometime. And I said, we've been doing it every night. He didn't know that.
It's on the
Oh.
calendar.
It's on the calendar. Okay, yep. But maybe, I don't know, I could give some calls. Generally, it seems like it could even be an SMM. And I'll call Charlotte and she'll go, oh, what day is that? And so people lose track of stuff, I guess. Anyway, I'll
Yeah,
get,
tomorrow is day 7 of the 7 days. So
how about that? Oh, okay.
it's
So-
hard just having 4 or 5 people.
yeah,
Yeah,
More people should be involved,
right,
especially like Sherry because it's her Oakland caucus,
right.
and John Anthony because he's really involved with the nominating convention.
Right. And so, did you want to get a hold of him, Jim?
I can send him an email.
yeah. Just tell them that one last meeting before we try a run through on Monday. We'd like to see him.
Same link? I can send them this, I can send them this link?
For this, yeah. It's the daily meeting in the calendar, and I think it's listed on last Wednesday or last Thursday.
I will do that.
Cool. I'll get a hold of Charlotte and Gerard and anybody else I can think of.
What is that? Friday or Thursday meeting?
Tomorrow.
Thursday.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the run through on Monday. So tomorrow will be the last daily meeting, hopefully. Run through on Monday, and then we'll see what we need to do before Friday on Monday.
Maybe have another dress rehearsal on Wednesday if need be.
Right.
I think the problem is just getting people to show up for the, they can't show up like all the time. So
Right.
try for one day and say, hey, this is where we need people. Let's try and push that.
Good. Right.
Sounds good
I'll
to
get a
me.
hold of that Lulu too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping her friend would step
Right.
forward. But haven't heard anything. So.
Right.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
outie.
Okay, man. Talk to you soon.
All
Thanks.
right.
Take care.
Have a good night, yo.
Bye bye.
All right. You too.